So I've got to pay my taxes, make sure they get it on time so I don't get in trouble, and I got to make sure I drive the speed limit, and I got to make sure I'm on time to work every day, and I got to make sure I put in enough hours at work. I got to make sure that I reach a certain age before retiring. I got to make sure that I have enough money in my 401k to survive. I got to make sure that I make $114,000 as a single adult in New York State to make sure that I survive. But they can eat kids and take all of our money to pay people to buy their kids, and if they don't buy them, they kidnap them. They're eating kids, but make sure you pay your taxes.
Hey friends, welcome back. Thanks so much for being here. Just a real quick update for you. Amidst all of the horrific, evil, satanic, demonic details being released in the new Epstein emails is the undeniable fact that these people actually eat babies. They eat children. They eat human beings. Literal cannibalism. And although there is precious little justice from the realm of man in this corrupt, fallen world, I want to remind people that if the judgment on Sodom and Gomorrah with fire and brimstone is real, the whole Bible is real. I'm reading that from the description below, Sodom and Gomorrah, as it was, so shall it be, a documentary by Timo and Marie Shelley. Please stay tuned, because when we return, you're going to hear one of the most horrific accounts from the Epstein emails, and then you will see the remains of Sodom and Gomorrah with your own eyes. It still exists by the Dead Sea, as described in the book of Genesis. Friends, if you're getting to that age where your body just feels sluggish and off all the time, then listen up. All of that may be signs of a clogged liver. You've probably heard about how important your liver is for detoxification, digestion, and energy. But here's the thing, most people have no idea how clogged and overburdened their liver actually is. Essentially, a healthy liver equals a healthy you. That's why Dr. Josh, a practicing doctor with over 25 years of medical experience, formulated a special liver supplement called Ultra Liver that acts like a deep cleanse for your entire body. Say goodbye to chronic fatigue, bloating, and skin issues, and say hello to renewed energy, clearer thinking, and a body that's operating at 100%. So if you're ready to unclog your liver, flush out toxins, and finally feel like your body's running the way it should, go to tryultraliver.com/SGT and grab your bottles today. Right now, Dr. Josh is running a special sale up to 50% off, but only through the link below this video. Do yourself a favor, take back control of your liver, your energy, and your life. Jude, chapter 1, verse 7. Just as Sodom and Gomorrah and the surrounding cities, which likewise indulged in sexual immorality and pursued unnatural desire, serve as an example by undergoing a punishment of eternal fire. Genesis 19, verses 24 and 25. Then the Lord rained on Sodom and Gomorrah sulfur and fire from the Lord out of heaven, and he overthrew these cities, and all the valley, and all the inhabitants of the cities, and what grew on the ground. To this very day, nothing grows there. But the depraved, wretched sin of man is on display for all to see in the Epstein emails, including the worst perversions imaginable. Certainly, similar things were happening in Sodom and Gomorrah. And if you're angry at the Epstein emails and what they reveal, imagine the anger of a righteous, loving God. For it would be better for you to tie a millstone around your neck and cast yourself into the sea than hurt one of these little ones that might otherwise believeth in me.
So if you have a weak stomach, you might want to sweat. I'll give you a second. So I literally hate politics. I hate it. I think it's all fake. I think you have the same bird, left wing, right wing, attached to that same dude. But after I tell you this story, and you still agree with Pam Bondi, you're lost. So in the files, they basically said that the youngest victim was still attached to the umbilical cord, which means the baby was just born, for all you people that don't understand birth. The youngest victim, and you know how many people used that youngest victim? 370 grown men used this baby still attached to the umbilical cord. And in the files, it is stated multiple times that they had kids there that were pregnant, kids, 9, 10 years old. So let's just think about this. Put your thinking hat on. I'm gonna try to stay calm whenever I talk about this. Imagine a 9-year-old girl laying on an operating table. Attached to that 9-year-old girl is a baby that just came out. That 9-year-old girl barely knows the difference between a man and a woman. Barely understands what is going on. Probably has no clue what's going on. Just went through the most pain in their entire life. Guarantee you there was no epidural because they love to torture people. And this baby, this 9-year-old baby, is looking down and seeing this cord come out of her. And her baby is being used by 370 men. And since 370 men used this baby, it died. And since it died, waste not, what not. They decide to finally cut the umbilical cord, and guess what? They eat that baby. It's in the files. It's in the files. They even said that the intestines tasted like cream cheese. Now, it's grotesque, but intestines, if this baby is raped, probably had that in there. Seeds, let's just say that. And you're eating 370 men's seeds. Imagine how screwed up these people are. So if you don't think that every one of these people ought to be, I don't care who they are, I don't care if they're your dad, you don't think they deserve it, you are inhuman and you deserve that. Change my mind.
Behold, this was the iniquity of Sodom. Pride, fullness of bread, and abundance of idleness was in her and in her daughters. Neither did she strengthen the hand of the poor and needy. They were arrogant and committed abomination before me. Therefore I took them away as I saw good. Many consider the Bible to be a book filled with myths and tales. If this is you, I encourage you to watch the following with an open mind. A few miles away from the Dead Sea, it is still possible to find today the remains and ruins of the destroyed cities described in Genesis 19. Formations such as ancient houses, gates, temples, statues can still be spotted in the area. The city is of a lighter color than the surrounding terrain, which makes it easy to spot it at a far distance. Because the city was destroyed by fire, the entire city is covered with this white ash and layers of petrified material. We can find countless swirly designs all around the city. This is what we call thermal ionization, when atoms attract and repel, forming this unusual swirly design. This occurs when the temperature goes above 6,000 degrees Fahrenheit. Due to the extreme temperature, we can find melted material on the side of the walls. So if you see, we even see a staircase behind the ziggurat. It hasn't been used for 3,500 years. I'm gonna use it again.
It's the size of an elephant. Maybe a statue that got totally destroyed also during the fire. Look at that. It's amazing. That was ancient streets all around here. Streets. Continue. Over there you see a cave, which was maybe an entrance. All around we can see the walls of the city that are quite high. You can clearly see an ancient wall. You can see the gypsum here. Yellowish color here. All this. It still remains of the sulfur, the brimstone that fell. Again another wall. That got burnt. Starting from here and going all the way till here, and we can see there's a 90 degrees angle, and then it's continuing straight. Again, it's been destroyed in the fire. You can see here like part of the wall has sulfur on it. It's staying sulfur.
At this time period, cities were built with limestone. Limestone in combination with sulfur at a high temperature leaves this very unique powder laying beneath the surface of the city.
There's this white snow everywhere, everywhere in the whole area. It's called calcium sulfate. It's created when heat goes over 250 degrees Celsius. It just leaves this ash that is calcium sulfate all over the place. So as you see here, we just found some sulfur. You can recognize it because it's this powder, yellow powder. There's some more here. Look at this one, guys. So this is a part of sulfur. Just take it out. You can see the yellow part. It smells. Look at that. Sulfur here. It's everywhere. Because the Bible said it rained sulfur. So you can still come here to the present day Gomorrah. You will still find this kind of sulfur. It's everywhere in the region because the Bible said it rained sulfur, brimstone, fire upon the whole land.
As opposed to regular sulfur, this pale white form of sulfur can only be found in the ruins of Sodom and Gomorrah. It cannot be found in any volcanic area or any mineral museum. Supporting the Genesis account, geothermal activity has never been recorded in the region, so these brimstones could not have come from a volcanic eruption.
As you can see, there's an arc shape structure here where you can see sulfur. You can see all that I'm walking on is just pure ash, like totally dehydrated. You can see there's some bits of sulfur. Try to zoom. Gonna burn them.
Brimstones are highly inflammable due to the fact they are made of pure sulfur. Inhaling the smoke from this burning sulfur will cause extreme irritation of the esophagus.
Brimstone, 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 and brimstone here. Like a little bowl with a shell. Just one touch. I didn't even see the sulfur on my finger. Look at this blister. It was so hot, it was indescribable. Look at my hand. The biggest rocks I found here at this place, which was an ancient temple. This was the entrance, but you see everything melted. Everything melted. Look at the size of this thing. It's everywhere. Here, it's here. This geometric shape. Let's go on top of it. Looks amazing. So it's easy to walk because it's only ash. Only ash. You can see where the ceiling fell on itself. Look at that. It fell on itself. That's the center of the valley. Okay, so here you can see kind of a 90 degrees angle structure.
This structure has clearly been built on a man-made elevated platform. We can find what seems to be a 40 feet long sphinx just by a pyramid formation. In comparison with the pale landscape, we see numerous collections of burnt rocks. These rocks seem to be in specifically targeted areas of the cities. See here? Sulfur everywhere again. Everywhere here. This is all sulfur, brimstones that took fire, in contrary to those ones. You see? They have burnt brimstones. All of them. Underneath them you can see it's burnt. It's black ash on all of them. As you see, the rocks are everywhere. This was the wrath of God. The wrath of God fell on this whole city and no one survived.
And now my micro-documentary, Red Rooms, published in July of 2020. There is nothing new under the sun, and the sin of man angers our righteous Father. Thanks for tuning in, friends. God bless. This is extremely important, but I must warn you, it's very disturbing information. So I'd like to begin this one with Luke 17:2. It would be better for him if a millstone were hung around his neck and he were thrown into the sea, than that he should offend one of these little ones. So again, friends, before we begin, the reason I'm doing this video is because the world must know, but fair warning, once you know, you can't unknow. As I read this article in its entirety, something I rarely ever do on a video of my own, I want you to recall the Instagram post from Jimmy Comet in which he, Alephantis, wrote #murder. And working on my night cheese, whose specialty is building child-sized coffins, wrote #killroom, while another wrote just a pile of money under a sheet, and still another wrote just rinse it off when you're done. What are these people talking about? What are they referring to? The mainstream media would have you believe this is normal banter. I also want you to recall the films Hostel and Hostel 2, which I have previously stated are not acts of fiction, but rather fictional documentaries. These things are most foul, and they do happen, and they are happening in the world right now. You'll recall these disturbing murals in Brussels that popped up on buildings in 2017, this one which recalls specifically a scene from one of those Hostel movies. And one last thing before I begin reading this article. Recall the mainstream media's stance on these types of horrors, running cover for them and claiming endlessly that things like this don't happen and that anyone who claims they do is delusional. These mainstream media institutions literally run cover for child sex traffickers and proprietors of satanic ritual abuse and murder.
This is how conspiracy theories are threaded together, lie by lie.
There is very real blood on their hands. Here's the article from BizPackReview.com. Italian teens arrested for paying with Bitcoin to see children tortured and murdered on the dark web. Written by Vivek Saxena, July 19, 2020. Two 17-year-old Italian teens, a boy and a girl, were reportedly arrested last week after using Bitcoin to purchase access to a dark web live stream of children being sexually abused, tortured, and murdered. The two were arrested as part of an operation known as Deliro, which is the Italian word for delirium, that began last October according to a report published Wednesday in the Italian-language newspaper Il Messaggero. In their texts to each other, authorities said the boy told his friend about the Red Rooms live streams, where videos of executions, murders, dismemberments, sexual acts on animals, organ removals, castrations, and child pornography against very young children could all be viewed. Images reportedly shared between the two, seized by law enforcement, include pornographic videos, self-made by children, videos adults made of minors sexually assaulting children between the ages of 2 and 4, and gory videos involving Nazi symbology. Operation Delirio has thus far led to the arrests of 25 people, 19 of whom were under the age of 18. Sadly, the dark web live stream where these Red Rooms are hosted still remain online. It's believed the live streams are likely carried out in Southeast Asia. It's further known that most of the live streams end with the child being killed. The people who operate the streams reportedly charge exorbitant sums of money to let viewers dictate what happens next to the child. Investigative activities, which continued after the execution of dozens of searches last autumn, brought to the surface, the investigators explain, the darkest and most dramatic part of the circumstantial findings. That relating to the deep web and encrypted internet context where images of heinous violence circulate, even in live situations in which users who have managed to access these hidden environments are allowed to interact in conducts of sexual violence and torture on minors carried out directly by adults. Live requests have very significant costs and ensure very high profits for foreign organizations that carry out such inhumane acts. News of this operation comes only days after 6 men who'd planned on using makeshift prisons and torture chambers to torture and potentially kill a number of victims were arrested. Check this out, friends. Dutch police arrested 6 men on kidnapping and serious assault charges. Police say they found makeshift torture chambers containing a dentist chair, handcuffs, cutters, scalpels, and pliers, and police say they were likely intended to torture victims.
Get outside! Take it!
And again, friends, I want you to recall that Instagram post from Jimmy Comet, James Alefantis, #KillRoom. Dutch police arrested 6 men after discovering sea containers that had been converted into a makeshift prison and soundproofed torture chamber, complete with a dentist's chair, tools including pliers and scalpels and handcuffs, a high-ranking officer announced Tuesday, Time magazine reported on July 7th. Authorities said police conducted the raid before the torture chamber could be used and alerted potential victims who went into hiding. The grisly discovery was made last month by officers investigating leads generated by data from encrypted phones used by criminals that were cracked recently by French police. Detectives in Britain and the Netherlands have already arrested hundreds of suspects based on the encrypted messages. And listen to this line, friends. Apparently torturing people is popular among European deviants. Friends, this has been going on for centuries, and those of us who have called attention to it and shined the light of truth on it get demeaned and disparaged and even libeled and slandered by the mainstream mockingbird horror media. What's not clear is whether the activities in Britain and the Netherlands were also linked to the dark web. What's known is that reports about dark web torture rooms have been circulating for years now. Yet according to the habitually wrong, left-wing American mainstream media, such reports are all figments of people's imagination. In 2015, Vice magazine claimed, live streaming torture is the dark web's favorite hoax. And here's that article. This weekend, hoaxers said they would live stream the torture and murder of 7 ISIS terrorists. That same year, the Washington Post described red rooms as one of the most stubborn myths. As evidence, the paper cited the claims of an Australian journalist, Eileen Ormsby. The answer, she writes, is pretty simple. The dark stuff does not and never has existed. The exception is child porn, but that's generally not what deeper web people are looking for. Now keep in mind, this is the Washington Post and Vice. There's a multitude of evidence to back Ormsby's claim, chief among it the fact that there is never actually first-hand evidence of red rooms, hitmen, and their ilk, and that such operations have never been busted in the FBI's increasingly frequent dark web raids, the Post claimed. Yet 4 years later, the evidence seems fairly clear-cut. This tweet from the National Crime Agency in the UK, HurtCore, refers to hidden dark web forums dedicated to the discussion and image and video sharing of rape, murder, sadism, torture, pedophilia, blackmail, humiliation, and degradation. Dated December 27, 2017. And this tweet from the Australian Federal Police, the AFP, we are seeing rape and torture of our children for sexual gratification. They use the dark web like a weapon. They use encryption like a sword and anonymity like a shield. AFP Commissioner Reese Kershaw on encryption and online child exploitation. Dated February 18, 2020. And this article from BizPackReview.com concludes, or does the Washington Post think the evidence is a hoax too, just like everything else? Save, of course, for the Russian collusion delusion hoax. Friends, again, the title of this article is Italian Teens Arrested for Paying with Bitcoin to See Children Tortured and Murdered on the Dark Web. Blood and gore. Brussels asks how far street art can go. January 27, 2017. They flaunt it in our faces, friends, just like those 2 pages from the Pinocchio story that I read in my last video. They traffic in children. They sell children. They sacrifice children, just like what was depicted in the movies Hostel and Hostel 2. But if anyone causes one of these little ones who believe in me to stumble, it would be better for him to have a large millstone hung around his neck and to be drowned in the depths of the sea. And I'll conclude this video, friends, with just 2 phrases. Number 1, sunlight kills. And number 2, you have more than you know. Share this information far and wide, friends. Pizzagate and Pedogate are very, very real. Jimmy Savile was just the tip of the iceberg, and so was Comet Ping Pong. And for real news 24/7, you can visit us directly at sgtreport.com, the antidote to corporate propaganda and mockingbird mainstream media lies. God bless. Bye-bye. The coachman told Honest John his scheme. He brought boys to a place called Pleasure Island. He said, "No boys ever return, at least not as boys."